Hello and welcome to I've Seen Everything, where the name is ironic and the reactions are... Happy Halloween season, folks, and here we are with a scary movie to go along with it. This is the winner of our scary/horror movie poll, Rosemary's Baby from 1968. What do I know about this movie? Nothing. Well, that was easy. I know that I've heard about this movie a lot. I don't really know anything about it. I would imagine it has something to do with someone having a baby. I don't even remember who it is that stars in this movie. Honestly, of all the movies I've watched so far on the channel, I think this is the one that I probably know the least about. I just know it's an older horror/suspense movie. I know it's a famous one. I know that it involves a baby. Other than that, I'm a blank slate when it comes to this. So the best way to fix that is probably to go ahead and watch the movie, which is what you're all here for, of course, and thank you for being here. If you do me a favor, please be so kind as to hit the like and subscribe buttons down there, click the bell so you can see when I'm putting out new videos. And without any further ado whatsoever, Rosemary's Baby, 1968, here we go. William Castle. I know that name. Mia Farrow. That was the name I couldn't remember. This must have been one of her earliest movies. The music's going to put me to sleep. Although, it just occurred to me, that's probably the point. Is it supposed to be like a lullaby? Since, you know, Rosemary's Baby. It is a good mix of soothing and creepy. It's got that little sound in the background. You can tell a lot about the tone they're striking right off the bat here.
Are you a doctor? Yes.
He's an actor.
What actor?
I recognize that guy. That makes sense for William Castle. This guy was in House on Haunted Hill in the 50s. He was the caretaker. Gosh, he looks almost exactly the same.
Commercials.
Well, that's where the money is, isn't it?
I guess it was only 10 years difference, probably.
Another bedroom for the bedroom. And 2 servants rooms sewn together.
Back in the days when you had to have an elevator operator. And operating an elevator on your own was too complicated.
We must oil that.
Seems like a fancy place.
Mrs. Gardenia
Well.
passed away.
Maybe not quite so fancy.
Did she die in the apartment?
No.
That's a creepy old apartment.
Oh, no. Not in the apartment, no.
He's protesting a little too much.
Oh, nice view of the park. Oh, very nice view.
I wonder if he's withholding stuff from them already.
Fireplace works, of course.
Oh.
This is, I'm sure, simultaneously a really nice place, but it also gives off a real creepy vibe.
Apartments with this kind of charm. There's a closet behind that secretary.
She moved it. It used to be there.
Something is locked in it, perhaps? We are entering the scene of a previous horror movie. Like, it seems like there could be a prequel to Rosemary's Baby about what happened in this apartment, because we're getting some real ominous signs right off here.
She couldn't have lifted it by herself. She was 89.
That was a really big piece of furniture to have in that hallway.
She locked in, got out.
Maybe something got out that they didn't notice.
Brantford had rather an unpleasant reputation around the turn of the century.
Oh, now we're going to learn some things.
They cooked and ate several young children.
That's disgusting.
In Makato practiced witchcraft.
Yeah, this is getting better and better. All this happened in that building, huh? Yeah, I wouldn't be worried about what was in the closet or anything else.
They attacked and nearly killed him in the lobby of the Brantford.
I didn't know that Marcato lived there.
And those sisters.
Nothing like friends sitting around for dinner to have an exposition dump about all the things they should be worried about the place they're considering moving into.
In '59, a dead infant was found wrapped in newspaper in the basement.
You really roused my appetite.
Yeah, maybe not the best things to be saying during dinner either. Also, he seems to know a lot. I mean, I guess you just pay attention to the news and somebody's old enough they've heard about enough that happened in that building. We're moving right along. We're less than 10 minutes into this. They've already had a showing, got all kinds of exposition from their previous landlord, and now we're already moving in. I'm willing to bet that they let something out of that closet. Some kind of evil something. I would not be surprised to find out that the reason that there was a piece of furniture blocking that closet door is also the reason the woman was in the hospital. How many people have ever been in a situation like that where you move into a new place and don't have any furniture?
Hey, let's make love.
Nah, you wouldn't normally have to say more than that. There you go. Hopefully they at least have a mattress.
Shh. I think I hear the Trench sisters chewing.
That is not something that you want to joke about in a moment like that, sir. Now, am I going to tell you I would be above that? No, of course not. Especially back when I was that age, I'd take any opportunity I could to freak my wife out.
Why don't you get on, have a ride? Come on, come on.
Okay.
Is that her husband on the commercial? Like, I was trying to figure out why she was so...
Look,
Oh, there you go. Now that brightens up the closet a bit. Now, there's the laundry facility she was asking about. Figure she's about to meet a new neighbor.
I'm staying with the Cassavetes, 7th floor.
She looks familiar, too. I can't place where.
Mrs. Cassavetes gave it to me. It's good luck, or anyway it's supposed to be.
I'm not going to say what I just thought that might happen to this neighbor.
The Cassavetes are the most wonderful people in the world. You know, they pick me up off the sidewalk, literally.
Makes me worry even more about her now.
I'd be dead now if it wasn't for them. You don't have any family that could have helped you? A brother in the Navy.
Makes me worry they picked her up off the street for a reason. Of course, I could be reading things into it that aren't there.
There's a closet over here, and then there's a closet over here.
It's a pretty good impression. Gotta give him that. Yeah, that's definitely concerning. Apparently the partition isn't thick enough because your neighbors appear to be conducting satanic rituals.
Get back, there's nothing to see. Get back, will you please?
Is it her? It's her. I guess I wasn't reading too much into it.
I'm staying with some people named Cassavetes, 70.
You know her?
Only slightly.
Did she go out the window? What happened? Yeah, how many deaths do they have in this building? How often is this guy having to rent out new places?
Better brace yourself for some bad news. She's dead. Jumped out of the window.
That's not possible. That's a mistake.
Are they in on it? I can't tell. I recognize both these actors. I can't tell if they're in on it.
A happy girl with no reason for self.
She doesn't seem very surprised.
She wasn't cleaning windows at midnight.
Why not? Maybe she was.
I definitely recognize the husband here.
Oh, she's all alone. She didn't have anybody, only us.
Didn't she have a brother in the Navy?
It's news to me.
She said wonderful things about you and your husband. How grateful she was.
Thank you.
I can't get a read on this couple, if they knew what was going on or not. They didn't seem real surprised. I wouldn't even be surprised to find this wasn't the first time this had happened. Like they'd taken somebody in and they died.
I told you not to tell her in advance. I told you she wouldn't be open-minded.
I told Sister Veronica about the windows and she withdrew the school.
I don't understand. Are we seeing something that previously happened in the building, like it was previously used by nuns, or are we seeing something from her past?
Poor Terry. Well, she was cremated yesterday. Now we gotta forget and go on. It won't be easy with only children of her own. You have any?
She speaks awful fast. She asks questions and leads you into answers and just keeps moving quickly.
I didn't see what you did to this apartment. Oh my goodness. Oh, it looks so much brighter.
She seemed more surprised by that room than she seemed by the girl dead on the pavement.
When you and Guy come over to have supper with us tonight, what do you say?
Okay, this woman is really...
This night we'll be alone since...
Well, maybe that's all it is. She's really looking to connect with somebody else, and I don't know if I should read that as malicious or not.
Check with Guy, though.
Listen, you tell him I won't take no for an answer.
Or maybe just classic nosy neighbor stuff, pushy neighbor kind of stuff. Abrasive, trying to be friendly.
Yoo-hoo!
He doesn't look happy. He get fired or something? Or, well, he's an actor. Maybe he doesn't have regular employment. He's going out looking for parts and not getting them.
Donald Baumgart got that part.
Yeah, there you go. He didn't get a part he was looking for. It's got to be a tough line of work for sure.
Mrs. Cassavetes was here. She is the nosiest person I've ever seen, you know?
At least I wasn't the only one who thought she was nosy.
She invited us to have dinner with them tonight.
We get friendly with an old couple like that, we'll never get rid of them.
That is a problem if you have somebody who just won't leave you alone. They start pestering you about everything.
And we'll make it clear that it's just for this one night and not the beginning of anything, right?
How do you do that? You walk in and say, all right, we're here to eat your food, but don't expect us to come back again.
I'm 79, and I've been going one place or another since I was 10.
Why has he been going one place or another since he was 10?
Now, you don't need to have respect for him because he pretends that he's holy. Now,
This is an unusual thing for a couple in the late 60s.
of the hypocrisy behind organized religion was given I thought in
Oh,
Luther.
yeah.
Did you ever get...
An older couple talking about the hypocrisy of religion in this time period would have been strange, I would imagine.
It should take you a long way indeed, provided, of course, that you get those initial breaks. Are you preparing for a show now?
Well, I'm up for a couple of parts.
Well, I can't believe that you won't get them.
Well, I can.
Yeah, this is a dinner that I wouldn't want to stay at for very long. It's just exhausting after a while. There's so much conversation and it gets relentless after a while. And they really seem to be digging to try to get as much information as they can. Of course, they could just be nosy.
I'm Minnie, he's Roman, okay? Okay.
I think it's time to go home.
And the cake! How did you eat 2 pieces? It was
Did they have fun, or did they...
mash.
No, they seem to have more fun than they thought they would.
Roman's stories are pretty damned interesting, though.
They're struggling for money. I'm sure they appreciated the free food.
I'm gonna go over there again tomorrow night and hear some more.
You are?
Yeah, he asked me. Here.
You didn't really hear them talking when they were in there together. I wonder if he was doing something else to him.
Why did they take their pictures down?
What do you mean?
The hooks in the wall and clean spaces, and the one picture that is there doesn't fit.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I didn't notice that, but I wonder what the pictures they took down were of. Potentially previous victims. This is the thing I'm trying to figure out is obviously something weird was going on up in the apartment. It sounded like some kind of ritual, and then the girl's dead. Were they there somehow in part of it and then got out and came back to make it look like they weren't there? Or was it something that like they lure them in and then somebody else comes and has the ritual?
Hi, dear. We're not bothering you, are we? That's my dear friend Lara Louise McGuinn. He lives up on 12. Lara Louise is his guy's wife, Rosemary. Hello.
We're not bothering you, are we, as we barge our way into your apartment? So she didn't want to go to their apartment again, though the women came to her. They're setting them up for something, for sure.
Dan used to give me gin through a straw to kill the pain.
They just came in and set up shop pretty darn quick, didn't they?
This is for you from Roman and me.
It's the necklace. Yep, it's the same necklace the girl was wearing. I said I felt like it was a bad omen.
Green inside is called Tannis root. That's for good luck.
I feel like it marks their next target.
You'll get used to the smell before you know it.
Here's this present. It smells bad, but wear it.
It was Terry's.
No kidding. Kind of pretty, though.
They got jewelry back off of the woman that lived with him who died, and then they give it to someone else.
It smells.
Not too bad, though. Look, if you took it, you ought to wear it.
They seem like they're getting their hooks into him pretty deep, whatever it is they're doing.
Hello? God, no.
Yeah, what happened now?
Oh, poor guy.
Someone died?
And, they don't have any idea what's causing it?
Oh, maybe the guy who got the part that he didn't get.
Yes, I would. I hate to get it that way, but...
What's in his hand? Did he do something to the other guy? At the encouragement of his new neighbors, maybe?
Donald Baumgart, he's gone blind. He woke up yesterday and he can't see.
Because that just happens. Is there actually any illness that can do that, where you just wake up and you're blind all of a sudden?
I have to get out and walk around.
Yeah, I understand. Go.
He did something, didn't he? He did something and now he has all this guilt because it actually worked. Or he's not going to walk around, he's going back over to talk to them again.
He'll really be noticed this time. He also has an offer for a lead in a television series. He's suddenly very hot.
Now I understand why you're so overjoyed.
Is this the previous landlord? I can't remember. I think so. So I'm going to take a wild stab in the dark here. Is it this idea of selling your soul to get the things you want? Because, so maybe he did some ritual, sold his soul, and now he's getting things he wants?
I've been a creep. Been tearing my hair out over my career. Let's have a baby.
You really mean it? Really?
Yeah, this movie's taking you all kinds of places emotionally so far. I'm getting a creepier vibe from him all the time now, too. But it's slower. Little tiny things that are a little concerning that build over time, it seems.
I hope we have the coldest winter ever.
It's a weird thing to hope for, even if you have a fireplace, I think. He looks like he's about to punch somebody. So I hope whoever's there has a good reason.
No, don't let her in.
How many people have been in that situation? Hoping for him to send them away. I get the feeling that they're putting something in all this food they're giving them.
It's good.
I feel like we're focusing too much on this for there not to be something in it.
Has an undertaste. A chalky undertaste.
Yeah, I'm concerned. I'm concerned what's in this.
The old bat slaved all day. Now eat it.
I like it.
It's delicious.
He's about to break, I think. Is she going to discover something? Is it a tranquilizer?
That's a great spot for my Yamaha commercial.
It's not affecting him, and he ate all his, I think.
What is it?
Dizzy.
So what would have happened to her if she ate all of it? And what the hell did they put in there? And did he know about it?
Hey.
Yeah, something is definitely up. I feel like he knows.
Nice.
Sleep is what you need.
She's having some interesting dreams for sure.
We have to make a baby.
Tomorrow, there's plenty of time.
Is she going to wake up somewhere really problematic? That's what I wonder. And is there a significance to her dreaming about being on a boat or being out at the water?
Why are you taking them off?
To make you more comfortable.
I am more comfortable.
Sleep roll.
It seems to be the theme of this movie to be ratcheting up the tension just a little bit more and a little bit more. Things are a little bit more unusual, a little bit more out of place, a little bit more unsettling. I thought it was just a tranquilizer. Now I'm starting to think they dosed her with something stronger. Okay, so is this actually happening? Is this the ritual they were doing before?
Wake, she sees.
She don't see. As long as she ate the mouse, she can't see nor hear. She's like dead now. Sing.
I mean, I guess that would make sense. Some kind of satanic cult maybe trying to do a ritual to have her give birth to the Antichrist. Yeah, this took a pretty hard turn, but I think they had their hooks into him from the first night.
This is no dream. This is really happening.
Ever have that feeling where you become aware you're dreaming in the middle of a dream? This is pushing quite a few boundaries for the late 60s for a studio movie released theatrically.
Hey, it's after 9.
So she wakes up thinking that she had a super weird dream, but it was not a weird dream.
We could have done it this morning or tonight. Last night wasn't the only split second.
Oh, I was a little bit loaded myself, you know.
Yeah, this is stuff that wouldn't have been okay even on the surface. Should never have been okay, but definitely doesn't play real well today. Even more disturbing that is the story he's coming up with to cover what actually happened, which was a weird satanic ritual to apparently impregnate her with the Antichrist, probably. That must be what it is. They promised him that they would help him get the roles that he wanted.
You haven't been looking at me?
What are you talking about? I've been looking at you.
If he basically sold his soul to the devil and sacrificed his wife, too, offered her up.
It was due on Friday.
Probably come tonight or tomorrow.
Want to bet?
Here.
Quarter.
Okay.
You're gonna lose.
Shut up.
What was due? First I thought they were talking about the rent, but they're waiting on something to arrive. Oh, they were waiting on her period.
Recommended you to me, Doctor.
Oh, yes. How is...
I recognize him. Charles Grodin, I think.
Really?
She's doing her little silent dance. Doc, do you have a test that you can do to see if I'm carrying the Antichrist? Because that, unfortunately, is a distinct possibility based on how this happened.
Like another blood sample.
Okay.
But I am pregnant, aren't I?
Oh, yes, it's just for blood sugar and so forth.
So they do sense something strange in the blood. Can you sense if someone is delivering a demon or the Antichrist?
What's that? Oh, that's great. That's just great.
He doesn't seem that okay. I was going to say he doesn't seem that excited that she's pregnant.
A new openness in talking to each other because we haven't been open.
Yes.
My fault as much as
No,
yours.
Bullet's mine now. You bear with me, and I'm going to try and do better, you hear?
He keeps trying to take responsibility for stuff, but then also kind of not. His actions are kind of different than what he says.
You know what I'd love to do?
What?
Tell Minnie and Roman. Oh, I know. It's,
For it starting as them being annoying neighbors, he sure seems to be real chummy with them now. But that's because they've possessed him, probably.
You're pregnant.
Guess they just come right on over.
Congratulations.
Best wishes, Rosemary. We didn't have any champagne on hand, but this will do.
She's pregnant. She's not supposed to be drinking. Maybe they didn't know that in 1968. Or maybe they don't care.
Pop Obstetricians is a dear friend of ours. Abe Saperstein delivers all the society, baby.
So maybe what happened is that the previous girl, they were trying to use her to impregnate her with the Antichrist or whatever, and the ritual went wrong, and either they killed her or she killed herself.
Listen, Abe, a dear friend of ours just found out today she's pregnant. Rosemary, tomorrow morning at 11?
All right.
Yeah, 11.
She doesn't even really get a chance to think about stuff. It's like when you're being hard sold by somebody to buy something. They have you halfway down the road before you ever get to even consider what they're saying.
Please don't tell anyone else, not right away.
No, she's right. There's plenty of time to a fine, healthy baby.
Yeah. Should always be suspicious if you feel like your life is kind of running away without you some of the time. So, I'm guessing, based on how long we have left in this movie, that most of it focuses on the pregnancy and odd things starting to happen with the pregnancy.
Don't read books. Don't listen to your friends either. No pills. We need Cassavetes. I'm gonna have her make a daily drink for you.
Yeah, this guy seems to be very much alternate medicine kind of guy.
What's in it?
Snips and snails and puppies' dogs' tails.
It'd be nice if the first one were a boy.
So she's going to drug her on a daily basis, and they have a doctor that's going to monitor the whole thing.
Don't be so violent, Harry. You want to be stupid, be non-violent stupid. You're in love with no one, especially not your fat wife.
I get the feeling that they promised him something, and that what they promised him is not going to work out, and so he's going to eventually either get killed or tell her what's actually happening.
Fin to vital soon.
Don't tell me you paid for that.
And that's also a messed up thing to say to your wife about her hair.
I have a pain since Monday.
Highly natural expansion of the pelvis.
I was afraid it might be an ectopic pregnancy.
I thought you weren't going to read books, Rosemary.
This guy has an office. He acts like he's a doctor. I mean, it's quite a ruse if he's not a legit doctor. Certainly not telling her to do things that a regular doctor would do. I'm assuming he's part of their cult. I wonder what they told her husband about her that would make him willing to do this to her.
I look awful.
You look great. It's that haircut that looks awful.
And screw you, buddy.
If you want the truth, honey, that's the worst mistake you ever made.
Except marrying you, maybe. You have her carrying the Antichrist. That is, like, super rare. Wow. People actually eat things that rare, or is that supposed to be as odd as it made me feel?
My God.
I might as well tell you I'm pregnant.
Pregnant women gain weight, they don't lose it.
Yeah, she does look awful sickly, doesn't she? She's starting to look like a skeleton almost.
Guy home already?
No, he won't be home till 6. A friend of ours is here. Would you like to meet him?
Well, if I won't be intruding.
Please come in.
He seemed awful nervous about not knowing who she was speaking with, especially about him. Okay, so she noticed something on his ear. Was it a piercing or a spot of blood? I didn't see quite.
Mrs. Cassavetes makes a vitamin drink for me every day from fresh herbs she grows.
Yes, all according to Dr. Saperstein's directions, of course.
Yeah, they seem a little overly attentive, I would imagine, to an outsider.
It's good luck, too.
This guy's going to get suspicious, and then something's going to happen to him, probably.
Tennis, I must look it up in the encyclopedia.
Encyclopedia, the internet of the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and before.
I've just noticed he has pierced ears.
Pierced ears and piercing eyes.
Pierced ears in an old man in the late 60s would have been particularly odd, I would imagine.
Hey, what a surprise. How are you, Hutch? Good to see you.
I doubt it's a surprise. You probably heard it from them next door.
Did you know that Dr. Saperstein delivered 2 of Hutch's grandchildren?
Really? It's a shame we haven't seen more of you lately.
Yeah, he still seems suspicious. I'm surprised that this doctor delivered family members of his. Grandkids, I think they said.
Say, is there another of these around?
I don't see it, Hutch.
No, it's not here.
He didn't seem all that happy to see him, despite trying to be friendly.
Nice surprise.
Guess what he said?
What?
I look terrible.
Good old Hutch. He's spreading cheer wherever he goes.
She has got awful thin, and I don't think that's necessarily true about people losing weight in the early months of pregnancy, but who knows? I'm certainly no expert on the subject.
Why? I think she's asleep. Well, she could be, yeah.
I am concerned for Rosemary's well-being.
It's Hutch. He wants to speak to you.
Hutch might be her only salvation here, although I'm worried something's going to happen to Hutch.
Can you meet me tomorrow morning at 11?
Hutch knows something. I feel it.
What is it? Can't you tell me now?
I'd rather not.
And I'm getting the feeling that, yeah, he's not going to be happy.
He wants to talk to me.
What about?
I don't know. He wouldn't say.
Where are you meeting him?
And why am I also starting to think that his glove being missing is not an accident? It feels like as we go on and as things get more off kilter, that the audience feels more off kilter too, which I think goes along with how she's supposed to be feeling. Yeah, she definitely doesn't look pregnant. I don't know how far along she's supposed to be at this point.
Pain, be gone. I will have no more of thee.
I wonder whatever they're doing to her, if her delivering this child is supposed to kill her, or if it potentially could.
Is this Edward Hutchins' apartment?
He's dead, isn't he?
He's in a deep coma.
A coma.
I'm Grace Cardiff, Hutch's friend.
Do they know what's causing it?
No, they don't know yet.
The old woman who lived in their apartment before them was in a coma and then died. Yeah, I don't think any of these things are accidents.
Thank you.
He was the one person that could potentially figure out what they were doing and was an outside influence. If there's one thing they're definitely trying to do is have absolute control over everything she's doing, everyone she's seeing. There's probably someone watching her right now.
Coincidence!
Yeah, speak of the devil. Pun intended.
I think we better be going home now. What do you say?
When is she going to start seeing really sinister stuff from these people, I wonder?
It'll stop any day now.
The wire inside me getting tighter and tighter.
Usually, older women with less flexible joints have this sort of trouble.
Yeah, this doctor is very dismissive of all of her problems. Basically told her not to read anything, not to listen to anything, and no matter how bad she gets, he's not worried. He has a BS answer for everything. And are they letting her drink? Chicken liver is not something most people would eat. I know some people eat them, but is it weird for her to be craving it? Yeah, she seemed to be kind of freaked out that she did that. So I would imagine that's out of character behavior for her. What did they do to him? It's what I wonder. What did they tell him? I mean, presumably he loved his wife. What did they do or tell him or mess him up or do something to get him to go along with this?
We're having a party a week from Saturday. You have to be under 60 to get in.
Is he going to go off in a rage at this point?
I think it's the best idea I've had in months.
Don't you think you ought to check with Dr. Saperstein first?
Oh, haven't you heard? It'll go away in a day or two.
Throwing her words back at him. But months, presumably. She's been pregnant, and she doesn't look like she's gained any weight at all. If anything, she's thinner than she was when she first got pregnant.
I'll help you take the coat.
Oh, no, really, you do too much for me as it is.
And he is desperate to be part of this.
You go on back, and I'll bring the glass back to you later.
Oh, I'll wait. I'll save you the walk.
You'll do no such thing. It makes me very nervous.
At what point is someone going to get rough with her about this? Because she's starting to push back. She'll stop drinking it, and then she immediately starts getting better.
You look like a piece of chalk. You make him feed you, love.
She does look rather startling to all these people who haven't seen her in a while, I'd imagine.
To get them happy, then I go light the concern, right?
Rosie, do you feel?
He looks really nervous with her being around all these people.
C.C. Hill, isn't he a dream boy?
I've got another doctor named Saperstein, an older man.
I wonder if one of these other friends will check into this doctor, since her one friend is now in a coma. And if something will happen to them, too.
You all right?
Yeah, they're really starting to feel something's wrong with her.
It's all right. It's good for her. Let her cry it out.
Tell him, Rosemary.
It hurts so much.
When did the pain start?
November.
And he's not doing anything to help you?
He says it's going to stop.
Why don't you go to see another doctor?
Yeah, this is really good because she can get all of these people worried enough about her that they'll do something, hopefully. But can she get away to go see another doctor?
I won't have an abortion.
Nobody's telling you to have an abortion. Just go to see another doctor, that's all.
They said since November, but I don't know if they said when. Well, they had a New Year's party, so it's after New Year's, so it's been months.
I'm going to Dr. Hill Monday morning.
It's been months, she hasn't gained any weight, and she looks like she's dying.
Is that what those bitches were giving you in there?
Classy.
Mind their own goddamn business.
All they said was get a second opinion.
Only people looking out for her. She can't trust her own damn husband.
It's not fair to Saperstein.
It's not fair? The hell are you talking about?
Talking about? What about what's fair to me?
She and I did the same thing.
You want a second opinion? Tell Saperstein and let him decide.
No, that's not how second opinions work. You don't go to your first doctor to ask permission to go get a second opinion. That's why it's a second opinion.
Pain stops like that.
Stop.
Stop.
Is it because they were arguing? Or maybe it's just that she stopped drinking that drink that she was giving her.
Guy, it's moving.
Oh, yeah. Felt it.
Don't be scared, it won't bite.
Oh, it's wonderful.
I wouldn't be so sure of that at this point. She's going to feel it start to tear its way out of her or something, from what it sounds like.
What's that for?
It's my hospital suitcase.
Honey, you got 3 weeks.
They're going to try to have the baby there, too. Have it completely off the books.
Hello, Mrs. Cardiff. Oh, my God.
Her friend died, I imagine. Just like the old lady who lived in their apartment beforehand.
Of course I will. Hutch is dead.
Jeez. Maybe that's what happens just when people start to catch on to them. They kill them in some way. Maybe the girl rejected their rituals, so they threw her out the window. Or maybe it happened during the ritual. The old lady that was living there was onto him, and so they put her into a coma, and she eventually died. And then her friend. They're certainly doing everything they can to cover their tracks.
I knew your father. So you're Rosemary.
Where's this woman she was talking to on the phone?
I'm Grace Cardiff.
There we go.
Hutch regained consciousness at the end, and he told the doctor to make sure that you got the book that was on his desk. Oh, and I'm to tell you, the name is an anagram.
Name of the doctor is an anagram, I would imagine. I feel like this is going to be a big reveal as to who these people are and what they're doing. Will she be able to understand it? Because he was, presumably didn't get a chance to finish what he was going to present to her.
Oh, you got mail already?
Somebody gave it to me.
Here, I'll hold it. Book?
She is nosy. Everything she do is to gather information. What does it say inside? Name is an anagram. The doctor's name, I imagine, is an anagram, or someone's is.
I was attacked by a mob outside the pram, not in the lobby.
Is this stuff that happened in her building? And is this supposed to be the same doctor?
There are no witches, not really. Name is an anagram.
So it's not a witch, it's not a satanic cult as much as like a witch's coven or something? I feel like it's not the title that's an anagram. Or maybe it is. Maybe that's exactly what it is. Somehow I don't think that's it. Maybe it's not the title. Maybe it's something else in the book. Stephen Marcato. Roman Cassavetes. So they've been alive that long?
What's with the chain? How was the funeral?
How was any funeral? Sad and depressing.
Do you know who Roman really is?
What do you mean, honey?
He's Adrian Marcato's son.
He's not going to believe her. And he's under their spell anyway. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm not giving him enough credit. Maybe they actually just put him under a spell. Especially if it's a witch's coven of some kind.
You're Stephen Marcato, all right. With a crazy father like that, no wonder he switched his name around.
So his father was into witchcraft, and then his son got into it as well?
They use blood in their rituals, and the blood that has the most power is baby's blood. And they're not coming within 50 feet of the baby.
If he's under a spell, how much does he remember about what's actually happened? Or is he not under a spell and he's just completely sold her out?
And I don't think you ought to read any more of that. I mean it now. Give it to me.
These people are killing your wife. What the hell are you doing?
Understand how disturbed you must be to have him for a close neighbor.
I don't want anything more to do with him or Minnie.
But this guy is with them. This guy has been helping them the whole time.
I can give you some pills that'll be adequate.
He's part of their coven.
Roman's very ill. There's no more than a month or two left to him. I'll tell him to leave on Sunday.
Are you sure they'll leave on Sunday?
I'll see to it.
That was quite a cut. I'm getting the sense now that what they do is they want to sacrifice her child or her to extend their own lives. Maybe that's what they're interested in.
You're going to have a happy, happy life, but I may stay on in Dubrovnik. We shall see.
Come back.
Well, he's supposed to not have more than a month left. I'm envisioning they're not going to leave at all.
Where's my book?
Put it in the garbage.
Hutch gave me that book.
I also get the feeling that whatever she was taking in her drink is in those pills. That was probably smart. Oh, and she's going to find her own copy of the book. That is even more smart. Or even smarter, rather. Oh, she's gotten some other books. Yeah, she might have to go to different texts altogether. Finding the same book, the exact same book, especially an obscure one like that, in the days before the internet would have been a lot harder.
Personal possession of the victim was necessary.
Chosen victim, her or B? Or are they talking about killing people that are causing them trouble? Like, is that where his glove went?
Guy and I are both very unhappy that he got his break because of your misfortune.
So is this why this guy went blind? They did a ritual on him and got the guy his job? That makes sense.
Didn't you miss anything that day?
You don't mean my tie, do you?
Yes.
Well, he's got mine and I've got his.
So he got his tie. And then they did the ritual, and then they used it to make him go blind.
Wanted to know if there'd been any improvement.
No, there isn't. It was nice of you to call by.
Pieces are starting to come together. But what happened to the girl that she met in the laundry room? Was it that they were trying this ritual on her to get her pregnant and it went wrong and she killed herself, or they killed her?
You aren't in labor, are you?
No, but I have to see the doctor. It's very important.
I'm hoping that she's at a different doctor's office. But I don't know what they'll be able to tell her just in an exam room.
See you next week. Make an appointment.
Different doctor. Fingers crossed.
See you then. Thank you.
What a cover to pick up. Really leaning into the satanic panic of the movie. I wonder if that was actually a real-time cover.
That wasn't a perfume. That was a good luck charm. I threw it away.
Maybe the doctor will follow your example.
Oh, it's the same doctor. She didn't notice because she was wearing it around her own neck.
Will you excuse me a moment, please? I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, get the hell out of there. I was hoping you'd gone to a different doctor. Please do so now, if you can. Why do I get the feeling they're going to show up and throw her into a car here at some point?
Older than witches? You worry, little Andy or Jenny. I'll kill them before I let them touch you.
I'm getting the feeling that your child might be different than you expect.
I've been to another doctor. He's been lying to me. Dr. Hill, there's a plot.
She does sound paranoid. She shouldn't have gone this far. I feel like he's not going
home. I've been up since yesterday morning.
I beg you.
It's her neighbor, isn't it? Or the doctor from the doctor's office.
I'm not going to speak to anyone. I'm going to take a nap.
Are they going to hurt Dr. Hill now? Get out of there, quick.
Please, could you watch until I'm inside the door?
That's smart. I'm at that point where I really want it to go right for her, but I know it's not gonna. I know something's gonna go sideways.
He's involved with them as well. He sleeps in pajamas now.
Oh, that was her doctor. I forgot.
All sorts of rituals. You could hear them singing through the wall.
Rosemary, just let him examine you.
May I keep this?
Yes, please.
Don't tell me he's part of it.
You can't imagine how much I was suffering. And they wouldn't help me. They were giving me a drink with tannis root in it. Also witch's stuff, tannis root.
I really hope he believes her, but hitting him with all the witch stuff, I don't know how likely it is that he will. I really wish she had just gone in there and let him examine her, and he could have told her if something was wrong.
Maybe all this is coincidence, but one thing is for sure. They have a coven and they want my baby.
Certainly seems that way.
He's going to write it off to something like what they did in those days, as far as a woman going through pregnancy, goes through all kinds of things, and it's just her mind playing tricks on her and all this stuff.
I believe in witchcraft, but there are plenty of maniacs and crazy people in this city.
So I really hope that he's not just blowing her off, but I get the feeling that's what's going to happen.
Abraham Saperstein?
Yeah.
He knows him.
Would you like to go into Mount Sinai right now, this evening?
Okay. He really seems to be trying to help. Can he do it without alerting her husband?
Shall I undress now?
No, it'll take me about a half an hour on the telephone. You just lie down, rest.
It's just this tension. You know something's about to happen. You know somehow this isn't going to work out.
God bless Dr. Hill.
He's either in on it with him, or they're going to find her somehow and hurt him, or something.
Everything's going to be okay now, Andy or Jenny.
Thankfully, this isn't the days of cell phones where they could track her phone, but I feel like they have ways. Yeah, who knows what's in those? She should have showed those to him. I wonder who all the people are that she was dreaming of. Was that family or something, maybe? He was in on it with him.
Come with us quietly, Rosemary. Don't argue or make a scene.
We just want to take you home. No one's going to hurt you.
For the baby.
What a piece of garbage. How could you do that to your own wife? How could anybody do that to another person? But how could you do that to your own wife?
We've got to go home and rest.
That's all it takes.
She went to him for a lifeline and he sold her out. So is she meant to die during this ritual? The baby meant to die? And will she find some way to get the upper hand on them? She doesn't appear to be scared. Where can she go that she can get away from them?
Row!
By the skin of her teeth, but I don't know what she's going to do now.
You promised them the baby!
No, I didn't promise.
What if this is something she just imagined? I mean, I don't think it is, but wouldn't that be a crazy twist? Of all the options at this point, I would say that's the least likely.
Don't forget.
Oh, jeez. They got in.
We don't want to hurt you, Rolla.
We're your friends, Rosemary.
They are not her friends. If I am sure of anything, it's that this is not going to end up okay. He couldn't even look at her when they were in the doctor's office picking her up. Her husband, I mean.
Please don't. It'll be perfectly all right. I give you my absolute word.
Everything clean and sterile.
I am just speechless. I don't know what to...
I'm sorry, my little darling. Forgive me.
I don't know how anybody who cares about somebody could be part of that. That's the thing that gets me more than anything, is the husband. I need an explanation for what happened with him. The one person you're supposed to be able to trust.
Is it all right?
Yes, it's fine.
What is it?
A boy.
She dreaming, or I feel like there's a twist coming.
Where is it?
Oh! You wait here. 1 minute.
I'm surprised they're not doing something like being like, what baby? They kept this all under wraps the whole time. They could have had it where there's no official record that she was ever even pregnant.
Where is it?
Dead. In the wrong position.
So they tell her the baby died, but it didn't.
I don't believe you. You're both lying. It didn't die. You took it.
This is pretty brilliant on their part, because there's no way to tell.
Abe says it's called prepartum. It's some kind of a hysteria. Boy, you were really kapow out of your mind.
So what they sold him was probably the idea, hey, sacrifice us this baby and we'll help get you your job and get you famous.
Paramount's within an inch of where we want him, and suddenly Universal's interested too. And we're going to be in the beautiful hills of Beverly with a pool and a spice garden.
This is what he did. He sold the child for them to help him with his career. Justified that it was okay. It's just one baby. They could have more.
Let me see your shoulder.
Anything you say?
Now, maybe it's not on his shoulder then.
Left shoulder. Right shoulder.
She's going to notice something. I do think this is really well done, though, because we don't know for sure if she's out of her mind. We are pretty positive she's not. And also, she hears a baby crying right now. But also, it could be, is she hearing things because she's out of her mind?
You hear baby crying?
No, I don't, dear.
This has to end with her finding the baby somehow. Not quite far enough in, I don't think.
What do you do with the milk?
Throw it away. Oh.
Yeah, I don't think they're throwing it away.
Some new people moved on in.
Do they have a baby?
How'd you know that?
I heard it crying.
Yeah, they got an answer for everything, don't they?
Oh, don't do that.
Why not?
A little messy, that's all.
I want this to end with Rosemary finding her baby and ending up in a cab away from all of them. Oh, so we revisit the closet. I think I know what it is. They are able to get into the place through the closet. And so the woman put the piece of furniture in front of the door so they couldn't get into her place. That makes so much sense. Yeah, she's going to be able to open it. I'm willing to bet. It's that or something that's hidden in there. Yeah, she just opened it. They're going to find her in there. This one last big twist before the end here. This movie is really good at building tension. I really need to say something here, but I can't think of anything to say. That was a smart move. Don't want to give yourself away. I don't know what her plan is, though. I mean, she has a knife now, so she can hopefully, she thinks anyway, she can defend herself. And I'm imagining her neighbors she thinks are gone or not gone. Yeah, they really know how to draw out the tension of this ending. Come on, someone's going to pop out from somewhere. Or she's going to find them doing something to the baby. Now they're about to see her. There you go. There's her husband. And there are the neighbors that are supposed to be gone.
Rosemary, go back to bed.
Rosemary.
Shut up, you're in Dubrovnik. I don't hear you.
Yeah, we're going to try to draw attention away from the black baby cradle. And the picture of the guy from the book. And the upside down cross. Is it dead?
What have you done to its eyes?
He has his father's eyes.
Yeah, it wasn't Guy that impregnated her.
Satan is his father, not Guy. Hail Satan! Hail Satan!
So he didn't even give up his own child. He gave her up.
His name is Adrian. He shall redeem the despised and wreak vengeance.
It should have been a big warning sign on the first night when he talked about organized religion.
Of all the women in the whole world, he chose you.
So the woman living with them, they tried to do the same thing and it didn't work.
It can't be! Look at his hand. His feet.
Do we get to see what the baby looks like?
God is dead! Satan lives!
How many people did this movie send to church?
Why don't you help us out, Rosemary? You don't have to join if you don't want to. Just be a mother to your baby.
I really don't want this just to end with them succeeding. Is there some way for her to get some kind of justice here? I can't see it.
Hey, promise me you wouldn't be hurt, and you haven't been, really.
And they gave him a career for him giving up his wife. I think she wants a divorce.
Rocking him too fast. That's why he's crying.
Oh, mind your own business.
I think it's her own business, technically.
Rocky,
All right, Rosemary.
Trying to get me to be his mother.
Aren't you his mother?
What's the plan? I don't believe she's actually giving in to it. She's playing along for some purpose. So they've been able to get in and out of her apartment all that time. They've been doing who knows what with her. When she's asleep or all kinds of different times. Expecting one last twist here. Or does she just give in? They're going to end it that way, aren't they? Yep, they sure did. Oh. All right, let's go to the wrap-up. Well, now I'm conflicted. There are very disturbing things in this movie. They're supposed to be. That's the kind of movie it is. What I would say that I liked the most about this movie is that they really did maintain and build the suspense very effectively. You saw me during the movie. I'm trying every which way I can to guess what's about to happen. But all the time, the tension's building. It makes you doubt yourself. It makes you doubt her sanity. It makes you question everything. My biggest question being her husband, how could they get him to agree to this if it was his child? Well, it wasn't his child. And so there was his rationale. It's still a horrible, horrific rationale. But his rationale being, he basically offered up his wife to give birth to the child of Satan so that he could have a career. So maybe not selling your soul to Satan directly, but basically. And he bought in this whole rationale about she wouldn't be hurt and they could have other children and just, let us do this with your wife and, your whole life will work out and be wonderful. I really believed, the ending really had me in knots because I didn't know what she was going to do. I didn't know what her plan could possibly be. And she didn't know what she was going to do. She was just trying to discover the truth, I'm sure. The biggest thing that, I don't even know if it was a letdown. I'm still kind of processing it. The ending. Obviously, it wasn't what I was hoping for, and it wasn't what I think a lot of people who have watched modern horror movies have come to hope for, which is some kind of positive resolution. Something that even if she goes down in the process, that these people don't get to win. These people don't get to have whatever the thing was that they did all these horrible things to get. But they just ended it that way. And that's the other thing, too. And I really, this is one of the areas where I don't know enough about the history of film to know when this really started changing. There was a cliche in Hollywood for a long time, throughout the 30s, 40s, and 50s in particular, that movies had to end, at least usually, with some kind of a happy ending. The bad guy got what was coming to him, and the good guys won somehow. But I feel like in the 60s is really when that started to change. They started blurring the line a little more. One of my favorite Hitchcock movies is Psycho. There were definitely innocents that got taken out in that movie, but, well, I don't want to talk about other movies here because who knows what the audience has seen. But point being, you start to see a little bit more subversion of the direct happy ending. We definitely saw a lot more of this going into the 70s and in the early 80s. Kind of the more cerebral, disturbing thriller type horror movie. For this to build tension and build tension and build tension, and the ending to be, no, the bad guys win. They get what they want. And by all accounts, she joins them. Or at least in the respect that the last thing we see, with the exception of the outside of the building again, is her looking on this baby with this half demon baby with a loving face of some kind. Taking on the idea that even regardless of what the baby looks like, regardless if the baby is the son of the devil or whoever it is, that it's her baby and that she still has that connection with it, I guess. And we're left to think whatever we want to think about if she's going to join them now or what the future holds for her and her child. I honestly wonder if this is one of those they tried to do sequels of. I'd have to go look. In fact, let me look real quick. Okay, so it looks like we did get sequels in some respect. It says there was a 1976 television movie, or Look What's Happened to Rosemary's Baby, that a lot of people didn't like. And apparently their opinion of the movie has gone down even more over the years, but there was a sequel to the novel called Son of Rosemary. Okay, so they do get into a couple of different ways of what happens. I may be interested to actually see that movie and read the sequel, but I'd have to read the original novel first. How much does the movie, for those of you who know, how much does the movie diverge from the novel? Like, how true is the adaptation to the original work? And are either of these any good? Who's seen the sequel, the television movie sequel, and who's read the sequel novel? But yeah, I mean, it really is something that puts right in your face that concept of, no, you don't always get a happy ending. Not only do you not always get a happy ending, sometimes you don't really get a complete ending. All you know is she walked over to the baby and she smiled. I thought she was playing them and she was going to do something to the baby, but you don't even get to know for sure what that was. It's all up to interpretation. I was frustrated by the ending, but I think after letting it process just a little bit during this wrap-up that I can have some respect for it. I definitely liked the movie. You guys, again, another good one. And it's not surprising. I've heard about Rosemary's Baby it's one of those movies you hear about forever. It's one of those that was a really big title that I hadn't seen. And I'm really glad I watched it. I really appreciate all of you voting for it. I'm going to have to give it 5 stars. I was thinking 4 or 4.5 after that ending, but how could it more effectively do what it set out to do? Here's another interesting question for anybody who's seen it. I know they more recently did a remake with Zoe Saldana, or Zoe Saldana, I believe is how you actually, I've heard her pronounce her name. How was that? I like her. I really like her as an actor. I don't know who else is cast in the movie. Was it a good updated version of Rosemary's Baby? I'm willing to bet most people didn't like it. Most people don't like remakes of things like that, and they tried to do a bunch of them. I know they tried to do a remake of The Omen. I know there were a bunch of Exorcist sequels. There were sequels to The Omen too, I think. So anyway, for this wrap up, for this movie, Rosemary's Baby, 5 stars. Very well done. I wouldn't even say horror as much as I would say suspense. Just it was creepy and suspenseful. There wasn't a lot of real horror elements except the scene. Let's call it what it is. I don't know if I can say that word, the R word, on YouTube. But that's what it was. Let's call it what it was. Anyway, Rosemary's Baby, 5 stars, I would say. Achieved what it was trying to achieve. Very good, kind of creepy suspense movie. And thank you all for suggesting it. That is it for this reaction. That is it for this wrap-up. I'm going to go watch something else to kind of get my mind right. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here with me. If you'd be so kind, please go ahead and hit the like and subscribe buttons down there. Click the bell so you can see when I'm putting out new videos. And I will see you on the next one. Take care.